Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. How's it going? Welcome. Thank you for joining in. Do me a favor as you join in. I want you to share and invite as many people as possible. We want to have people in this stream. So share, inviting your friends to be part of our conversation today. Tell me your name and what city you're joining in from. Give me your name, your city, where you guys are joining in from. Excited to be here. So give me your name. Drop out your city, where you guys are coming in from. What city are you guys coming in from? So join in and be part of our conversation today. Welcome. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. What city, what town are you guys joining in from? Let me know what city you're joining in from. Share the video. We have an interesting conversation today. So we're going to have this conversation. I hope you are ready. I hope you are ready. I hope you are ready. So I'm streaming on my YouTube channel. I'm streaming on Instagram. I haven't done Instagram in a long, long time, but I'm glad to be doing something out here. So hey, Instagram, what's happening? So I'm on my Facebook page, which is where my audience is. I'm on my Facebook page, my profile, my YouTube at the same time. So this is interesting. So we're gonna have an amazing time. So we have an interesting conversation that we're going to be having today because I believe my new slogan is let's make wisdom sexy again. I think I'm passionate about spreading wisdom and letting people know. I always say if I am the only one who's getting to know and learn all this beautiful stuff, it's not of no use. We need to grow together. We need to level up at the, together. So that's why I'm excited today. So today we have an excellent conversation. I shared an article yesterday about our current president, our brand new president and his wife. He opened parliament yesterday, and he walked in parliament with his queen, and she was killing it. She was killing it. She was putting it across, and everybody has been talking about how beautiful. And I mean, from day one, from the inauguration, she's been killing it. Her game is just on another level. I mean, and we see a lot of people say, hey, I want to be, I want to be like this woman. I wish I was lucky to have a man like her. She's really lucky. And I said, she ain't lucky. She paid the price. And I think sometimes we don't go deep into people's relationships. We don't just go, in a deeper space to be able to understand, situations and issues of people. I'm a deep thinker. I'm a thinker. I go beyond what is on the surface. I dig in deeper, and then I also have an I have a tr- I have a passion to just go consistently watch people and see certain things about them. Welcome everybody. Please do me a favor. I want you to give me some likes, some shares. Hey Jonathan, what's happening? Good to have you. Good to have you. Give me some shares, some likes. And let's invite as many people as possible. Hey, what's happening? Good to have all of you joining in and being part of our conversation. I'm excited to have every one of you. Good to have every one of you. Please, thank you so much. This is gonna be beautiful. This is gonna be life changing. I guarantee you. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that this is just gonna be life changing. Good to have Wilson Madeli. So, man of God, what's happening? Good to see you, sir. Welcome. Good to have you here. Good to have you. Good to have. Good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have all of you guys just joining in and being part of our space today. Chichi, what's happening? Good to have you. Good to have you. Mango, what's happening? Good to have you. Friday, what's happening? Good to have you. Hey, what's happening? So good to have you. Good to have all of you joining in. So our subject today is very interesting, and we're talking about stop wanting partners you don't qualify for. There's this trend with most people. When you see a man with a good woman and you say, well, I wish for that. When you see a woman with a great man, like the conversation we're having today, you always say, oh, I wish I could have a man like that. I wish I could just be in a relationship with that. But you don't understand the price they have paid, to be with that person. You don't understand the price they pay to work with such a man. You don't understand the price they've paid to have such an amazing relationship. I shared a bit about the story of our first lady. He was in prison. She stayed loyal. She stayed faithful. He was disrespected back and forth, even by little kids. In a quest to save his people. I mean, he was in prison back and forth by our previous government. Back and forth, everything just happening. But she stayed loyal. She stayed consistent. They went in, broke into their house. They tortured the people. They abused the people in their house, but she stayed faithful. He's been on this journey for over 10 years. He's been on this journey for over 10 years, fighting to become president. And finally, last month, the dream happened. The dream happened. None of you said, I wish I could work with him when he's getting all the insults on social media. No one was posting the post stuff. No one was posting the pictures. Except those that are loyal to them, that have stayed loyal in their circle. But now the whole country is celebrating this woman and this man about the success that I've created. But no one was there to be able to do that. No one was there when he stayed with her, when she couldn't have kids, she couldn't give him children. They went through all of those seasons. No one was there when he asked her out and she said no, until he kept staying persistent until she said yes. As a young graduate, no one talks about all those stories. Everybody talks about the glory now that he's president. Nobody goes back to talk about the things that are there. You can't pray for certain things. Certain things you have to create them. A lot of you, like I said in the video, I think 2 weeks ago, a lot of you are, the men you're supposed to be married to, the men that are supposed to give you queen status, are the men that you put in your friend zone. They're men that you're saying that don't qualify. They're men that you say you don't want. Now, I'm going to share a video before I go into details about stop wanting partners you don't qualify for. So I've watched this video. I've watched it over and over. I've been watching it for months, but I thought I should share with you today. And this video is interesting. It's a principle of stealing from the universe. A lot of you are asking for things from God or the universe that you are not ready for and you are not qualified for. And somebody put it in an amazing way. It says it's called stealing from the universe. A lot of you want partners you don't qualify for. And some of you will maneuver your way and get them. But because that's not the partner you qualify for, the universe will bring a shakeup to that arrangement. So I'm going to show you a video right now. So you listen to this video, and then I'm going to come back and talk about this, because this is interesting. Leave out your comments there, share, and let's tag your friends, bring in as many people. So short video. Please let me know if the sound is clear. It's a full video, but I'm just gonna do a short clip from this video.
You over here preaching?
Man,
let me tell you something.
I'm learning.
Man, when I say that is so freaking true, is that we live so much for other people of how it looks. Oh, you got you a good man. Yeah, because he did this right here for me, and he did this for me, and he did this. Oh, you got you a good one.
Can you guys
They don't wake up to this dude. They don't know nothing. All they see are the optics of your relationship, but they don't know the day-to-day. Or you have somebody, and then it makes you really give you pause for the cause to break up with said person because your mama think, see, that's a good one. You got you a good one. Don't you mess this up. And you be like, you don't. You just see her every other Sunday when we stop by the house, but you don't know this person. And they were like, you got to. And then if the relationship
Hope you can
were to
hear the
go
video
sour,
as well. The
Marquette,
sound
what did
from
you
the
do?
video.
What you do this time? What did you do? You like,
I
you
want you
don't
to
realize
listen to
what
the
I've been
statement
dealing
he's
with
going
this
to
whole
make.
time. I just haven't been divulging this information to you. So that is true. So have you had somebody in your life that mom or dad or your homies was like, say, man, you messed that up. That was a good woman.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't had to tell me because I've messed up plenty of good women. They haven't had to tell me nothing. You know, like I know what it is. You know, but I mean, but that's really what it is, though. You know, it's funny. I believe so most people have like this idea of what they want, and just like those boxes you want people to check and a certain. Everybody has like that idea, that dream. But the crazy part about it is that most people, if they got that with exactly what they're looking for, they would mess it up because they not even the person that they supposed to be to sustain that. You know, I call it stealing from the universe. You know, I read that in a book. I didn't pen that. But it's you stealing, and you gonna have to give it back. You're not gonna be able to sustain that. You want this person to do A, B, C, D, E. You know what I'm saying? And most people, they look at themselves and say, "Well, I do A, B, C, D," but they lying to themselves. You know, they telling like, "Well, nah, you not." You know what I'm saying? You got to do that work. Have you done that work? Have you really done it? You know what I mean? Have you really like kind of like stripped it all down and really like even examined where some of the ideas and the beliefs come from, where they just planted in you? You just said, you know, your family's like, well, don't mess that up. You got a good one. Well, programming is real. You know what I'm saying? That will really give you an internal battle when someone you respect or care about tells you something specifically and you feel something totally different. You know what I mean? So we grow up with that and not even knowing that we feel differently until we actually ask ourselves like, man, do I really feel that way? Or did my parents just tell me that? You know, who's speaking? You be 35 years old, somebody talking to you, and when you say something back, who said that? Did my parents say that? Or was that me? You know, so
that's real, man. That's so real. He said stealing from the universe.
Yeah.
You remember what book that came from?
That's from Yamas and the Yamas. It's a book about like the
So did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said in those short 3 minutes? He says a lot of people are asking for partners. They have a standard of the people that they want, but they are not ready for such type of people. It says at sometimes you can even get the person you want, but you have to give back to the universe because you don't qualify for that person. You are not ready for what you are asking for. You are not ready for what you want. It's called stealing from the universe. And this is also one thing I want to say to a lot of people is that sometimes when relationships don't work, don't say what's wrong with me. You have to say, one thing you need to realize behind the closed doors is that the person you were with was not ready for you. They didn't qualify for you, but they had a way that they maneuver their way into your life. They stole from the universe to get something they are not ready for, to get something they are not qualified for. At some point, you have to refund the universe. You have to give back because you don't qualify for that. Inside of you, you haven't done the work. So if you got a man like HH, if you maneuvered, if you went Kwamununga and did everything to be able to get the type of man that. So now this also says a lot to you, my African sisters, that the things you smoke don't work. You may enjoy it at a short space of time, but you have to get back the refund because that's just smoke. You don't qualify for this thing that you want. So some of you are upset that certain relationships didn't work, but you don't realize that you went below what you are ready for. You went below what you qualify for. And some people got beyond what they qualify for. It is a principle. Like attracts like. So when you want partners, when you want people you don't qualify for, even by chance, some people will allow you in their lives. At some point, that relationship won't work out because in your system, in your making, You are not ready for that type of a partner. You are not ready for that type of a relationship because you haven't done the work. You haven't done the work. You haven't put in the investment for you to qualify for this. This is why some of you get shocked and says, I am sexy, I am beautiful, I am amazing. But how come this man went and picked a woman who doesn't seem like she's at my level? All you have is accessories. The other woman has the engine, everything. You got the accessories. The other person has got they've got the engine. Everything is functioning inside to be able to support and carry out that type of a woman or carry out that type of a man. What you have is only skin deep. I like to tell people that sexy is skin deep. You are sexy outside, but it's only skin deep. It doesn't go to the core of who you are. That's why you can sustain certain relationships. This is why when you see the first lady, she took the bullets, she took the shame, she took the embarrassments. It is illegal for you to want what she has when you haven't paid the price. If you're asking for a good man, if you're asking for a visionary man, you got to pay the price. Otherwise, just settle with what is on your level. Settle with what the universe believes you qualify for. So you can pray. If you want a good man, if you want a visionary man, there's going to be a huge price you have to pay. You have to be willing to pay a high price to be with such type of a person. You can't get what you are not ready for. Your system, even if God was kind enough to be able to give you that type of a person, it still can't work because you don't have the facility. You don't have the facility to house or to accommodate such type of a woman or such type of a man. Because certain men come equipped, certain women come equipped. You have to have a certain level of preparation to be able to qualify for certain women and for certain men. You had to be, uh, our first lady had to be a certain type of a woman for her to qualify for the glory that is happening in her life. Our generation is so entitled. Our generation is so entitled. They want things, they desire things that they have not paid the price for. And some of you even go to men you qualify for and go and tell them, I am not on your level. My level and my class is there. No, you are not. You are just illusion. Dreaming is free. You may dream. This is why a lot of women are going to grow up frustrated because you're going to grow up frustrated because you kept wanting things you are not built for. You kept wanting women that you were not built for. Some women are powerhouses. Some women are dreamers. You gotta have the engine as a man. And I'm not talking about your manhood because a lot of men, all they bring is their penises. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you gotta be equipped beyond the bedroom. You gotta be equipped to sustain certain women. Well, some people are average. As long as the sex is good, they can stay in a marriage. Some of us are not looking for average marriages. We're looking for extraordinary homes and families and marriages. Some of us are dreamers. Some of us are building powerful, empires. So you can't bring an average woman in your space. And this is why you need to know who you are. If you know you are dreaming higher, don't go marry chicks. Go marry a woman. If you are a dreamer, don't go marry trophy girls. Go marry a queen. And it means that you have to tame your lusts for trophy chicks, for women that can sustain your dream and where you are headed to. You gotta go out for such type of women. You can't want to build high And this is why I tell people never allow success to catch you unaware. You have to know what 20 years look like. You have to know what 10 years looks like. You have to know what your 5 years looks like. Because if you know what your 10 years looks like, you know the type of friends you need, you know the type of husband you need, you know the type of wife you need. So you have to be willing to do all that. And let me also put a disclaimer. I am not saying go and suffer for no reason. The only man or woman you qualify to suffer with is a man. It's called suffering on purpose, suffering with purpose. And I'm not just saying now just go and get a wreck of a man or a wreck of a woman and says, let's go and suffer together. No, you're going to suffer for the rest of your life and you will be bitter and you'll be frustrated. So if you are picking to suffer and pay the price with a man, you're picking a man with purpose and vision. Thank you, Katepe. Welcome, Instagram. What's happening? YouTube. What's up, YouTube? What's up, Facebook? I'm streaming on all my platforms. So you have to qualify who qualifies to work with you. You have to qualify who qualifies to pay the price with you. And paying the price has to do with purpose. You are paying the price on purpose for purpose. So that's a disclaimer. So I'm not saying every man qualifies for your attention and for a relationship with you. I'm not saying that. You will have to assess. You have to assess. You have to do an assessment if this man, if this woman qualifies to work with me. You got to do the assessment. So I'm not just saying go and jump in without wisdom. You have to jump into it with sense and purpose. This is why when you meet a man, you meet a woman, ask them, where are you headed to? Otherwise, you're going to end up in struggle love for the rest of your life. You will suffer and you'll be frustrated. I had to put that disclaimer. Hey, Miss Precious, good to have you. Welcome. Thank you for joining in. So that's one thing you need to understand. So you pick, like they say, pick your battles. Pick who you're going to work with. Pick who you're going to roll with. Stop stealing from the universe. The easiest way to get your catch, the quickest way to get your catch is you have to go through the process of doing the work. You can't want what you're not ready for. You don't have the capacity to sustain it. There's a reason why Toyota Corollas can't be driven in certain spaces, terrains. You need a 4x4. It was built for certain roads. You need a truck to carry certain things. There's so much lessons from around us, but as human beings, I think our pride gets in the way that we begin to say, I want this when you're not ready for what you're asking for. You have not done the work. Yeah. Coach, is that the reason why ladies these days want to grab another woman's man and still manage to mess it up, right? Yes. Because the universe is saying you don't qualify. You may have maneuvered, you may have used the one night stand, But this man is not ready for you. This is not the type of man. And this is also the reason why when you walk away unjustly from the woman that suffered with you to go and be with these women, you end up coming back frustrated. Your end is never great. Your end is never great. Your end is never great. So you need to have an understanding. What type of a man do I want in my life? What type of a woman do I want in my life? What type of the person do I work with and build with? You have to be willing to pay the price. You have to be willing to pay the price. This is why you see a lot of people got married on surface things. Now they are frustrated in their marriages. And guess what? They are out there looking to be fed. They are frustrated because you're looking to be fed. Because you made the most critical decision of your life based on the surface. God can entrust you with things you're not ready for. I know some of you say, Coach, you've spoken about the universe. It's a parable of the talents. Those that did something with the talents were given more. The one that didn't do the work was gotten away from them. But when it comes to relationships, we are so entitled. We want what we are not ready for. And we envy. I was very impressed. One young lady put on the comment, on a comment, she says, as a young wife, her caliber and her character has inspired me to be a better wife. That's what you need to do. Don't say that's what I want. What is it that you have done to want what you are asking for? What is it that you have for you to desire what she has? That's why people become bitter. This is why you actually destroy your own relationships. Because you see her bling, you see her live the life, you are frustrated and you are bitter. You are taking that venom to the person you are dating and you're in a relationship. Instead of saying, how do I help my man upgrade and become the king that he is? And I'm sorry for you if you just picked a guy who has no ambitions and dreams. I don't know. I don't know how to help you. I don't know how to help you. The reason God ordained marriage was designed for purpose. Me helping my wife become successful. My wife helping me become successful. But you're too busy getting laid. You're too busy checking out body parts, and you're not checking out the things that are inside that person's brain. This is why I put a post this evening. I said in the next 10 years, divorces are going to be more. I'm not a prophet of doom. It's common sense. How many couples do you see make investments? How many couples do you see getting married? Everyone wants a flamboyant wedding. They didn't do the work. I'm not going to be surprised that I'm going to have an amazing marriage. I won't be surprised because I've been working for it. I've been putting in the work. I've been making sure I'm becoming a better man each and every day. I don't want to be a liability to someone's child. Some of you, the relationships didn't work out because the universe had to get back what belongs to them. What work? Look at how many people are in the gym every day. People are gymming. All of us are getting six packs. All of us are getting shapes. And those shapes are bringing us the men we think we need. We think we want, but don't realize that they're not the men you need. There are men that want you. There are women that want you. but they're not the ones God wants you to need in your life. You're wanting things that you're supposed to be needing. You're needing things you're not supposed to be wanting. And guess what? You go ahead and create babies together. And now your babies have to suffer. You are suffering, but your children will have to suffer to be raised in a marriage and a home that is dysfunctional. This is why, for me, I qualify who qualifies to talk to me about marriage. Because there's so many people that are miserable out there, but they don't want to come out and say the truth. I see people want the marriage of Sarah Jakes. I see people, I see people even say, oh, there are no men like Pastor Torrey Roberts. There are no men like Torrey Roberts. They are there. It's just that you don't qualify for them. But you're so greedy. You want to enjoy the benefits Sarah Jakes is enjoying today. And again, some of you don't even listen to that woman. She can tell you up to now, she still works the work to enjoy that marriage, paying the price. Your booty won't keep a marriage. Your six-pack won't keep a marriage. There has to be much more you're bringing to the table to sustain the marriage. I deserve a king. Since when did you deserve a king? Who says the universe owes you a king? The conversation must be, how do I qualify for a king? How do I qualify for a queen? When we begin to have conversations like that, we begin to humble ourselves. I see so many women, and this is why you notice if you see me upset, I am upset because I hate to see marriages break apart. I hate to see relationships die. I hate to see marriages and relationships just break apart. I hate to see good relationships just die off. I hate to see good homes destroyed because we haven't paid the price. This is why we see a lot of women walk into marriages, a lot of women walk into relationships in a short space of time. By the way, there's a story happening in Nigeria. She's an artist. I think, is it Tonto or something? I don't follow her that much, but what I've been reading from the blogs is that this woman has been having relationships, and I've seen people write on her page to say, listen, sit down. There's nothing wrong with relationships. It's you. You are the common denominator. I don't know the whole story, so you can shoot me on that, but I don't get it. She's beautiful. She's sexy. She's amazing. But I have a feeling, like I said, she's been stealing from the universe. She's been stealing from the universe. She's been wanting what she doesn't qualify for. She's been wanting what she doesn't deserve. What work are you putting in so that you don't become a liability to your future partner? What works are you putting? So because when you don't do when man, there's so many examples I can give you. Sierra says when it's when she talks about like there's certain things you have to offload before you get married, before you get into a relationship. There's certain things you gotta offload. There's certain things you gotta release. There's certain things you gotta let go. There's certain words. There's certain words that you gotta release in your life. There's certain things you have to die to yourself for you to stay in healthy relationships. You are willing to go to the gym. You're willing to go and work out so that your body is in shape, but you're not willing to go through your mental gym to be able to change how you think, how you look at relationships. So you have to be willing to do certain things for you to enjoy the type of relationships that you say, this is what I deserve. And I said it last week. A lot of you say marriage is not everything. No, I don't agree. A good marriage is everything. When you're married to the right woman, when you're married to the right man, it's everything. The problem is you've not seen your parents have amazing marriages. You've not seen your friends, your circles have excellent marriages. So yeah, now you subconsciously you are accepting that marriages are not good. A good marriage will change your life. A good marriage will change and transform your life. If you marry the right person, if you marry the person who's done the work, if you marry a woman who's done the work, if you marry a man who's done the work, it's gonna work. I like that. I didn't even think about it. If you marry a man who's done the work, a woman who's done the work, it's gonna work. I didn't think about it. It just happened. Stop stealing from the universe. Stop stealing from the universe. This is why now we see divorces, because you stole from the universe. You married a man who you didn't qualify for. You married a woman you didn't qualify for, and the universe has asked for a refund. Because you didn't do the work. You didn't build yourself to be able to level up enough to be able to say, I am ready and I qualify for such type of a man. I am ready and I qualify for this type of a woman. Are we getting each other? Yes, Rebecca. Do the work to qualify for a king and the queen. And let me tell you, when you marry the right person, your life is going to go in the right direction. If you marry right, I know too many people that are miserable because they married the wrong person. You went with the external, you went with the outside. You didn't go with the character of a person. Your focus was on the external things. Your focus were on the things on the outside. I want you to listen to this guy again. I want you to listen to this guy again. I want you to listen. I want you to listen, and I want you to get what he's saying.
Before it became westernized and became into a physical thing. So yeah, it's like 10 principles, and one of them is stealing from the universe, and how you have to give those things back when you're not ready for it. When we all do that. Try to grab something that we're not ready for, and we got to give it back very quickly usually.
So when you watched yourself steal from the universe and you got these quote unquote good women, how did you feel, or did you feel anything in the process when you were mishandling this gift?
Yeah, well, I mean, more, I didn't really feel anything of that nature because I knew I wasn't prepared and I knew I wasn't ready for what this person might be ready for. But at the time, like especially at that age, younger, you're not really even thinking like that.
Nah.
You got an agenda and you want to get to whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, women do also. Women have their agenda when they meet a man a lot of times,
Yeah.
And so you're not even thinking like that. Just that after it's over, it took me a minute to start to realize like where things went wrong on my end, on multiple levels. Where did it, because a lot of times it's just very easy to just be like, well, this person didn't do this. You can just pick it apart and then think, when I meet the next person that does this and this, it'll be cool.
Yeah.
And I had to continue to go through that until like life just kind of pin you in a corner and be like, nah, look, you got some work to do. It ain't meeting the right person. It's you ain't the right person yet.
Wow.
So during your days of playing international basketball,
did you get that?
of course, you and I had conversations with this.
This is what most people do. You keep changing relationships. You feel like there's everything wrong with the people you're dating. No, it's you. It's not the people you're meeting. It's you. And I like what this gentleman is saying. He's just opening up. He's being honest about the things we are not honest and open about. To say, look, and unfortunately, some of you have got your circles and your girlfriends. They keep telling you to say, oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea. They don't sit down and tell you and says, look, your attitude stinks. You don't have manners. You don't have character. You don't have morals. You don't have a work ethic. And that's why all your relationships are failing. They keep telling you, oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you're amazing. You're going to find another man who's going to love you. But you grow old And the universe keeps pulling back the men that come into your life. The men will come, the women will come, but because you're not ready for what you're asking and you're not ready for what you're wanting, they're going to be put away from your life. Do you have to get to 40, to 50 to realize that it's you? Do you have to have a team of ex-boyfriends and ex-girlfriend before you sit yourself down and say, I keep asking, I keep wanting things that I don't qualify for? Some of you are using lust to get love and wonder why you are always miserable. You're using lust to get love and wonder why you're miserable. Some of you are using material things to get love and wonder why you're miserable. If I had put a title to say 7 keys to get a wife, 7 keys to get a husband, this broadcast would be full by now. But because the title sounds a little bit negative, a lot of people say, I'm going to get what I want. Pride. So anytime you see a good man or a good woman with an amazing relationship, don't say, I want that. That's what I deserve. Subconsciously, you're setting a standard so high in your mind that your system is not built up to be able to accommodate. I was just talking to a beautiful young lady I knew years ago. She showed up like she's everything you can never think of, but she's just gone through a divorce at a tender age. And I don't know why we're so proud we're not even paying attention. At a tender age, young lady, she's got kids at a tender age, gone through a divorce. We want marriages we're not ready for. We want wives we're not ready for. We want husbands we're not ready for. And let me tell you, you can be 20 and not be ready. And you can be 50 and still not be ready. It's not an issue of your age. It's not an issue. It's not an issue of your age. It's an issue of preparing. I've seen young women who are only 25 and they are killing it. They're doing pretty good in their marriages. They're prepared for it. And they still keep going out through the process of developing. So when you see our First Lady, don't clap for what she's enjoying the next 5 years. You will see her in your social media platforms. Don't cry what she's got. Don't ask for what she's got. And some people, you there's a spirit that enters you. You begin to walk like this is what I deserve. I deserve a man like HH. I deserve a man like this. I deserve a woman like this. So even when the men come in, so you even become very arrogant. That's a word. You become very arrogant because you've been feeding yourself BS. You have been deceiving yourself. You've been lying to yourself. And some of you, it's become so dangerous because you lie to yourself. You don't even notice, you don't even realize that you're lying to yourself. Yeah. Is this hard? Is this tough? Hey, Craig, what's up? And oh, my brother, it's been some minute all the way from the US. Good to have you, my brother. Good to see you. It's been a minute, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you, brother. So what are you willing to do today to be able to get what you qualify? I'm so happy to see you, brother. I'm so happy to see you. So don't wait until tomorrow before you sleep today. Write down what are the things you need to work out in your life. What are the things you need to fix in your life? What are the things you need to do? That will make you qualify for the life that you want? What is the work that you need to put in for you to qualify, to deserve the life you want? I was telling you the story of this young woman. Now I'm thinking, now, how do you even begin to date at a tender age? You've got kids and you have to think about dating. You are young, but you've got kids. And you have to think of going out to date there. And by the way, in our culture as Africans, the way we date is different from the Western culture. It's different. Here, when you take a woman with kids it's okay for men to have kids. You understand? It's okay for men to have children and walk into men. A man can have 10 children and go and marry a virgin. Marry a woman who doesn't have kids. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that in our culture for women. It's so unfair to most of our women. In fact, your family can be refusing you to marry a woman with a child when you've got 5. Why are you going to marry a woman with a child when they don't even care that you've got 5 kids? So this is why when you go out there, you need to go out and make the right decisions when it comes to relationships. Stop wanting partners you don't qualify for. Become the person who deserves that person you want. Become the person. You attract who you become. You begin to attract the things you become. You attract who you become. This is why value doesn't beg. When your value goes up, you begin to attract. Your universe, God, begins to orchestrate things to come your way and be in your space. Well, if you think your looks will get you the husband you want, the king you want, I wish you luck. If you feel like your money will get you the woman you want, I wish you luck. I wish you luck. But I don't want you to be the woman I meet 10 years from now. And it's very inconveniencing. And there's something you notice from our president. You realize that it's both people, him and his wife, from what I've read and watched, it's people that have stayed consistent in building together. You can't be wanting to build with someone who doesn't want to build. Love does not make people build and behave better. They have to decide. They have to become better for themselves. When you decide to get married, I hope and pray you decide to get married for life. Divorces disadvantage a lot of women. So if there has to be a person who's going to go hard and marry right, it's got to be you, sisters. That's why you have to start asking God to give you men that you want, not the men, not the men you want, but the men you need. Butterflies are overrated. Love is overrated. Let me take questions before I go. Let me take questions. Somebody says, on the other hand, coach, don't you think wanting that good man can also prompt you to develop yourself towards that good man? I do corporate training for companies and business, and there's always an example I always give, and says I'll give you this story. Let me give you this story as I wait for your questions. There's something I always say. I always do use this in my training programs. There are 3 frogs on the wall, and then one decides to jump. How many remain on the wall? There are 3 frogs on the wall, and one decides to jump. How many remain there? There are 3 frogs on the wall, and then one decides to jump. How many remain on the wall? Give me an answer. 2 frogs, one. So 2 frogs. I'm waiting. How many remain? 2 frogs remain. 2. I have a 9 in maths. How many remain there? 2. I'm waiting. Hurry up, hurry up. We have a lot of people here. Hurry up. How many remain? Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Let's be quick. Let's be quick. And keep, if you have a question, type it out. Quickly, we have so many people here. So how many remain? 2. Okay, all the answers are wrong. So all the answers are wrong. And I'm giving this example to answer Charity's question. All the answers are wrong. The answer is 3 remain on the wall because one decided, but they didn't jump. They just decided, but they didn't jump. So 3 remain on the wall. The 3 still remain there. One just decided to jump, but they didn't jump. So it's the same thing. Wanting a good man doesn't mean that you start becoming a good woman. What you need to do is decide to be a good woman and commit to the process of becoming. So you don't need if they inspire you to become better, that's great. But you need to make a personal decision and act on the decision that you make. Because the danger of wanting to become better when you're with this person is going to create a lot of codependency in your life. You become codependent. And this is why a lot of you women spend years trying to love the wrong man, and you feel like your love will make him a better man. A woman's love does not change a man that has got a broken lifestyle to become a better man. It only validates it. It just says, stay the way you are, and I will accept you the way you are. And some of you, the reason you love the wrong men that don't qualify for you, men you don't qualify to be in relationship with, is because you're broken too. You get high from loving a broken man. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're doing something noble on the earth because you're loving a broken man. So you are broken. So the only way you stay relevant is to love another broken man, so that he can say, she loves me and accepts me. But it's still dysfunctional. It's still brokenness. It's dysfunction. So, before you realize that you're the problem, before you spend the rest of your life wanting things you don't deserve and don't qualify for, it's time to do the work. Now is the time to do the work. Your body can keep a man. Your money can keep a woman. The sex can keep a man. There has to be much more than what you want. Decide to become better. Because when you decide and become better, everything aligns with you. So you have to make the decision. So I wish you well. Have a beautiful evening. God bless you. I have a class coming up on healing. If you want to go through the process of healing, there's a class we're going to be having soon. If you want one-on-one coaching, feel free to get in touch for one-on-one coaching. All the sessions are paid for. So if you want to heal, if you want to prepare yourself, and I believe a lot of people need a lot of healing, get in touch and we're going to help you be the best. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining in. Have an amazing evening. Have an amazing day, depending on which part of the world you're coming in from. Remember, stop stealing from the universe. Stop stealing from the universe.
And plenty.
But that's really what it is, though. You know, it's funny. I believe so most people have like this idea of what they want, and just like those boxes you want people to check and a certain everybody has like that idea, that dream. But the crazy part about it is that most people, if they got that with exactly what they're looking for, they would mess it up because they're not even the person that they're supposed to be to sustain that. You know, I call it stealing from the universe. You know, I read that in a book. I didn't pen that. But it's, you stealing, and you gonna have to give it back. You're not gonna be able to sustain that. You want this person to do A, B, C, D, E. You know what I'm saying? And most people, they look at themselves and say, "Well, I do A, B, C, D," but they lying to themselves. You know, they tell it like, "Well, nah, you're not." You know what I'm saying? You got to do that work. Have you done that work? Have you really done it? You know what I mean? Have you really like kind of like stripped it all down and really like even examine where some of the ideas and the beliefs come from, where they just planted in you? You just said, you know, your family's like, well, don't mess that up. You got a good one. Well, programming is real. You know what I'm saying? That will really give you an internal battle when someone you respect or care about tells you something specifically and you feel something totally different. You know what I mean? So we grow up with that and not even knowing that we feel differently until we actually ask ourselves like, man, do I really feel that way? Or did my parents just tell me that? You know, who's speaking? You be 35 years old, somebody talking to you, and when you say something back, who said that? Did my parents say that or with me? You know, so.
That's real, man. That's so real. He said stealing from the universe. Yeah. You remember what book that came from?
That's from Yamas and Niyamas. It's a book about like the spiritual and mental side of yoga before it became westernized and became into a physical thing. So it's like 10 principles, and one of them is stealing from the universe, and how you have to give those things back when you're not ready for it.
You have to give back what you steal from the universe.
We all do that. You know, try to grab something that we're not ready for, and we got to give it back very quickly, usually.
So when you watched yourself steal from the universe, and you got these quote unquote good women, how did you feel, or did you feel anything in the process when you know you were mishandling this gift?
Yeah, well, I mean,
awesome, ladies and gentlemen. Good night. It's been amazing.
I didn't really feel anything of that nature because I knew I